This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the Bee Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at beepodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to the show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply. Good morning, my friends. I am Candice Noss, a physical therapist, a life coach, a lifelong Christian, a mother of 6. And I created my business, the Mind, Body, Spirit Trifecta, where I liberate, enlighten, and empower others to elevate their mind, body, and spirit and own their divine greatness. On this beautiful Thursday, I am thankful for the concept of flow and how this relates to surrender. I love putting on retreats, and after doing it multiple times now, I've learned a few tricks. One of the most important lessons doing these retreats has taught me is to utilize the power of flow. Now, in preparing for any retreat, there are so many things I want to have happen, and I envision the days going a certain way, a beautiful way. However, when you get a bunch of amazing women together, things rarely pan out exactly according to plan. When the plan becomes too rigid and the schedule too tight, often those magical bonding moments get missed and stress ensues. Reflecting on past retreats brought this concept to the forefront of my mind this week. I recognize the importance of having a plan. However, allowing things to proceed with flexibility according to the spirit of the moment is what truly creates powerful connections and transformational experiences. It is critical to have a standard of time integrity and to set the intention to stick to a schedule, but to also understand that the magic happens in the unplanned and unexpected twists and turns of the experience. Ever since my first retreat, I've committed to focus on staying present and allowing for flow. It has served me so well. This concept of flow and surrendering the schedule if necessary for the greater good is so very applicable to life. Now, I typically have a plan for my day, which covers my clients, my exercise, my food, my kids, my husband. Figuring out the family schedules with soccer, basketball, football, church activities, games, performances, meetings, it can get a bit tricky. I have a time frame and am scheduled sometimes to the very minute of who needs to be where and when and what I'm supposed to be doing at each moment. Managing a business, 6 active and involved kids, as well as a husband, truly requires expert level planning, which sometimes feels like a complicated game of Tetris, trying to get all the pieces to line up so everyone gets where they're supposed to go at the right time and everyone's needs are met. Once I get it all figured out and set my intentions of how I hope my day goes, just like with these retreats, it is so powerful to let go of any attachment I have to these things going a specific way. I've learned that when I start clinging so hard to my idea of how something should play out, when I think it's supposed to go a certain way and rigidly stick to my carefully laid out plan, well, often I completely negate a better way or miss an opportunity to help someone, or I am so busy I lose touch with my intuition. However, when I follow flow, at times my best laid plans will go out the door as life creates a different series of events, more in alignment with the highest good for all involved. I absolutely love the feeling of being in flow, where I am able to follow my intuition and the end result feels almost magical. Now, in order to truly operate in flow, often it is necessary to tap into surrender. We must be willing to let go of our attachment to the schedule if our gut instinct or our intuition urges us to do so. If you are a client of mine, I'm sure you've heard me talk about the universal truth, that which we resist persists. The more we try to force something, the harder it is to reach. Just like chasing a dog in order to have it come just causes it to run away faster, or loving so much causes us to grip it so tightly that we end up choking it. If we resist something or try to force it, then the thing we are trying to avoid usually becomes even more persistent. If I am trying to stick to a schedule for my family and life is giving me an opportunity to do it differently, if I rigidly refuse to budge in my schedule, resisting the invitation to flow, then stress, demands, and resistance will persist. Being intentionally aware of flow versus force energy is a very insightful way to live. Recognizing where in our life we are gripping too tightly to our schedule or to our manuals about how something is supposed to go or how someone should act. When we recognize that we're gripping too tightly, it will help us let go of the rigidity and more easily access flow. Choosing to be open to shifting our schedule on the fly liberates us to surrender our expectations and will open us up, usually for something better than we could have ever even planned. Clinging to how things or people should be keeps us stuck in ruts. Surrendering our will and trusting that all things are working together for our good. This liberates us to turn what may look like stumbling blocks at first glance into stepping stones once we access flow. There is great growth available through the law of surrender and living in flow. I am so grateful for the beautiful wisdom to follow flow, the flow that naturally happens as we intentionally and intuitively let go and utilize surrender. Have you noticed when you're operating in flow? Have you accepted the challenge to lean into the law of surrender in your life? I challenge you to make your plans, set your intentions for the day, and then stay present and aware. Watch for any moments inviting you to surrender your schedule for a bit. Experiment with letting go of your expectations for the day and see how magically, as you access flow, everything works out better than you could have ever anticipated. Let me know how it goes. I would love to hear your feedback. I truly am thankful for surrender and how it allows me to operate in flow. Thank you for joining me today and for being part of my journey. I believe in you, and I truly am thankful for you. If you'd like more from me, grab my free video about taking your self-talk from crappy to happy. I'd love for you to join my Thankful Thursday email, and I invite you to listen to and subscribe to my podcast, Designed for Greatness with Candice Noss. Links are all in the show notes. And whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at thebepodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.